Greetings, everybody. If you're wondering if wash sales can be applied to put option contracts as a seller/writer, the answer is yes. As you can see, we're looking at a put option contract with the wash sale note next to it. But let's start from the beginning to see how we got here. What happened was, I had two of these contracts. The first one I sold/opened on April 3rd, and the other one I sold/opened on April 9th. I received different premiums for them, and one of them, the first one, was at a $5 loss. In order to find out if wash sales apply to option contracts, I decided to close the put that was at a loss. When I got to the screen to close the put, it didn't allow me to select which specific contract to close, but I figured it would close the April 3rd one that was at a loss because that was the first one I had opened. Another thing to note is that on Merrill Edge, when you have more than one of the same contract, when you get to the screen to close one of the contracts, it doesn't tell you what your cost basis or estimated gain or loss would be. You have to know yourself what you originally received for the contract in order to know what your estimated gain or loss would be. Anyway, after I closed the put, here's what the holding screen looked like. It looks kind of confusing, at least to me it does, but the important numbers to know is that I closed one of the contracts for $950.65. And for the first contract, I had only collected $934.34 for it. Therefore, that's a $16.31 loss. The next day, the wash sale note and loss was applied and carried over to the remaining contract, because the two contracts had originally been opened within 30 days of each other and I had closed one of them for a loss. What the wash sale did is it didn't let me log the $16 loss to my realized gains/losses totals, and instead it applied that $16 loss to the other contract that was remaining. Here's where it can also get confusing. But if we go back, we can see that I had originally collected $964.34 for the second contract. But after I closed the first contract for a $16.31 loss, the second contract dollar amount was reduced by those $16.31, so that it now shows/says that I only received $948.03 for it. It's also kind of strange to me that the acquisition date now says April 3rd, even though the April 3rd contract was the one that was closed that caused the loss. Anyway, if you'd like to avoid these wash sale scenarios with put option contracts, what you can do is try not to close any puts for a loss if you have more than one of the same contract that were acquired within 30 days of each other, or if you had just recently opened one within 30 days from the time you would close for a loss. Or if you're dealing with single contracts and you close one for a loss, you'd have to wait 30 days before reopening a position on the same contract. Good luck, everybody.